Good day and welcome to our channel. This is the best fashion tutorials. Today I'll be taking you on a step-by-step guide on how to cut a button shirt, a normal pocket button shirt. So, first of all, you need your cutting materials, your scissors, your tape, your chalk, and your ruler. Then when you're cutting a shirt, observe this. This is the edge of the material. The edge of the material is where you arrange on your table. And then you fold it. You fold the edge by 2 inches. Then you press it down with your iron. Make sure you have a good iron. Press it down with your iron. Then after you press down your 2 inches, you start your drafting. So now the measurement we'll be using for these tutorials, our shoulder is 20 inches, our sleeves will be 25, our chest will be 40, and the shirt length will be 30. So now let's start with our shoulder. Well, first of all, you remove your button allowance, which is 1 inch. You mark 1 inch all the way down. And you roll a straight line. This straight line is where your measurements will be starting from. Now let's get our shirt length. Our shirt length is 30. Then you add 1 inch allowance for this folding, making 31 inches. You roll a straight line. Now we'll be doing our shoulders. Our shoulder is 20. You measure 10 inches. You slant it by 3 inches. You still roll a straight line. So we'll measure our shoulder out here. Now note, you're measuring your shoulder from this 1 inch allowance, not from the edge of the fabric. So you place your material, measure your shoulder, which is 20 inches. Then add your ½ inch sewing allowance for joining of the sleeve. For the armpit, we come down by 6.5. Then this is where we'll get our chest. Our chest, I said we'll be using 40 for this tutorial. 40. Then a joining allowance of ½ inch. Then there is how I get the shape of my clothes. The shape of my clothes, I remove 6 inches here, which will give me our stomach line, and then 12 inches to give me my hip line. So at this stomach line, remember here we removed our actual chest, which is 40 inches. Here now we'll be removing our actual chest minus ½ inch, which is 9.5. You mark, which is 38. Sorry, you mark a 38. Add your ½ inch joining allowance. Over this place on the hip line, I maintain my chest measurement, which is 40. Then I add my ½ inch sewing allowance. Then we connect the lines together. And we'll take it down straight. Now on this baseline, I'll be removing 3 inches from my cuff. So now you take your time to give it a very good shape, depending on how you want your cuff to be. I don't want it to be very obvious. So I just do it gradually. Good. Let's come back to our armpit. Just rule a straight line down. Then you curve it so we can cut. So basically, the front is ready to be cut now. So we cut. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome to our channel once more. If you're a new visitor, we want to welcome you to the family. I want to urge you to subscribe to our channel, because on this channel we post a lot of content that will help you to grow your fashion business. We upload videos twice every week. We promise you will not be bored in this channel. We'll make sure we'll give you the best. And if there's any tutorial you want me to make video on, feel free to drop it in the comment section and I will attend to it. So the front is out now. We keep it aside and then we arrange our back. I give it a press. You arrange your back to make sure it's up to your chest and the required allowance you're working with before you can place the front on it to cut it out. So now remember, we did something earlier, which was our button allowance. Well, first of all, we'll make here straight. Make this point a straight line. So we'll mark a straight line and then we'll cut it off. So now we removed, earlier on we removed our button allowance. You remember? So this button allowance, we'll maintain it, we'll still apply it back to the front measurement. The button allowance is not part of our chest, so it will not be part of our drafting of the back. We'll draft our back minus the button allowance. So you take this up, bring the camera closer. Take this up by 1 inch on the shoulder. Then when you are sure you are there, you confirm your fabric to be sure it's properly arranged, and then you cut it out. Remember I said 1 inch below the shoulder line. That will be for our back flap. If you follow this process step by step, I assure you will arrive at a perfect button shirt, you get exactly what we are getting here. You arrive at our results. Because I try as much as possible to make these videos simple and concise, as precise as possible. Or even a new beginner can watch it and understand. So now the next step now is to remove our back uh, our back piece. So now we'll bring out the material that will be used for the back. So you measure here, you measure what you have here, which is 10.3. Add 1 inch to it, 11.3. And then you measure here. Come closer. From this point, you will be joining our back. So you place your tape here and then measure up to here. We have 4.5 with our required uh, allowance for the back. So I'll be cutting 9 inches, 9 inches by 11 to get our back panel. 9 by 11 to get our back panel. So we'll pick our back pieces. Arrange the material. To get our 9 inches by 11 inches. You press it down. Now let's mark it out and cut it out before we now complete our drafting. If you look at your button shirts at home, or if you have any button shirt handy, you can compare it. You realize that button shirts, unlike our senators and our native wears, our button shirt is not cut completely flat. It's not cut completely straight. There is always a joining at the back. But the native wear is cut straight. Then we fix a back flap on the native. So once you cut the button shirt like the already made standard. So let's cut it out. Shape this to be sure it's straight. I will also be posting a video on how to sew this button shirt. So if you've not subscribed, please endeavor to do so that you won't miss the updates, the latest updates. So we arrange our fabrics back. So we'll continue our drafting. Don't be tired of doing the right thing. Just like my mentor will always say, the things that are easy to do are easy not to do. I used to think doing things the right way was hard, but I realized it takes the same energy to do it the right way as it takes to do it the wrong way. So back to our class. Now you overlap it by half inch. Half inch here. You maintain the same half inch over here to make sure you're getting it right. Then we now take out our shoulder overlapping, which is 4 inches. We'll slant it the way the shoulder was slanted. 4 inches. We'll rule a straight line and then we'll cut it out. Now we overlap this also by 1/2 inch, which will be for our shoulder joining. We press it down. Then we interpret our shoulder measurement back again, bring it back, which was 20. 20 inches. Then we'll add our 1/2 inch for our sewing allowance. We'll cut it out. Now we'll open, we cut out the front. The front is usually deeper than the back. Now we'll be taking out our neck. Our neck for this measurement is 16.5. So we'll take out 4.25. This point we take out 3 inches. We'll mark it and then we'll check. We'll measure it to be sure it's up to what we want, or we can increase it or reduce it. 16. So it will give us what we want. We cut it off. You have to be careful you're not cutting the back piece. And remove your back. And you dip your back by 1/2 inch. Let's measure our neck again to be sure we have 16.5. I think this is okay. So that is it for our shirt cutting. Now we'll cut the sleeve as soon as possible. Now for the design I will be using, my design has a different color of sleeve. As you can see it in the video above, as in the picture, in the thumbnail. So we'll arrange our sleeve and cut it out. I'll be doing a designer shirt with a design pattern on it. So you arrange your sleeve. I'll be using 9.5 on this point. So you arrange it to get the measurements you want to use. Nine and a half or 10 inches will be enough for it. So you press it down with your iron. and you start your drafting. So first of all, we rule a straight line. Since the edge of our fabric is not straight, we rule a straight line to give us a basic, to give us a guide on how to draft our sleeve. Let me cut it off so that you understand. Okay. So now we'll be taking our sleeve length, which is 25 inches. 25 inches. Okay. We'll remove our cufflinks, which is 2 inches. Our cufflinks allowance, 2 inches. I hope you understand. The sleeve is 25. We'll minus 2 inches for our links band joining. So on this point, we take 6.5. This 6.5 is almost standard. I hope you can see my chalk. Okay, on this point, you'll be taking 5 inches. 5 inches. So now we slant. Come closer. We do a slant. If you can't see the chalk because of the color of the fabric, when I cut it out, you will see the shape. So now we'll cut it. Still trim it down a bit. Good. So now, this line, you link this line to your armpit. If you have a French cuff, you can use it. For me, I'm used to using my free hand to get the line. So basically, this is our sleeve. And we'll still use this other one. Still use this sleeve to cut out the back one. The back sleeve. So if you stayed to this point of this video, I want to thank you very much. I want to appreciate you. And I want to see you on our next tutorial. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you so much for being part of the family. We love you and we appreciate you. Thank you and have a lovely day. Goodbye.